Rob, congratulations. All about taking your chances. You took yours.
Yeah, of course. I think I'm pretty good under the pressure. You know, we've had one leg there where second set it wasn't a great leg. You know, he's in front, he's missed a bundle, and I've sort of mopped up whatever in front of me. You know, but that's what we have to do. I'll be honest with you, Damon's a great player of the game. When he's on, he's fantastic and can do great things, but I sort of feel for him there, you know. He could have been in the game maybe 2-2 or whatever, but I'm happy to be sitting here now and with a 4-0 win.
You can't feel sorry for anyone you're playing against. You've got to do your job. But did you get a sense early on he was struggling a little bit today?
Yeah, I just thought I was probably better in the important moments, you know, and that's what he comes down to. I shouldn't really say this, but I played Damo a few times, and I always feel that I can be better in the important moments, you know, and that's what I've built a living off. I've been very lucky with that. I shouldn't say that out loud because it makes me sound whatever, and that's not putting him down, but realistically, you know, I've built a living off that and being great in the times, getting booed, getting whistled. I've been a lucky boy for the last sort of 10 days, you know. I've been out there in the crowd and they ain't given me any stick yet. It's probably coming, so don't air this, you know. I'm going to reg him on, but fantastic to win, and you know, it's just so I'm looking forward to that next one now.
Yes, the next one is of course Luke Littler.
I knew it was coming.
Well, as soon as the draw comes out, that's your aim, to get to meet him, and he's got through, you've got through. What are you expecting?
Yeah, look, I don't feel sort of like, excuse the pun, but Littler's like Ronsil. You know, I think he's a great boy, but he does exactly what he says on the tin. And you shouldn't take that for granted. And he comes from a great family and all, I would say that. You know, a lot of time for Ant and stuff and his wife, you know, Lisa. But realistically, look, we're going to get up there probably in a couple of days or whatever. It's just go to work. Go to work. And I think, actually, it might help me to take the shackles off, you know. There's not going to be any pressure on me. You know, he's set to win. He's going to be whatever in the odds, and that won't bother me either. But you never know. There's always a dark horse, and if they produce their best stuff, I think I've always got a chance. Always.
And is that what you've got to do? Drag him maybe where other players haven't been able to drag him so far?
I don't think I need to drag him, you know. I think I have a game in the world where I play darts, and if I'm on it, I'm efficient at the end. Very efficient, maybe from the 200, 250 mark. It's tough to play that, because you're not getting any bonus change at the end, you know, but I will need to be like that. And look, it's going to be a great game. If I turn up, I'm really looking forward to this one. This is where I wanted to get, and look, if I want to put my name on the trophy, that's what I need to win.
Yeah. What have you made of him in the last 2 years since he burst on the scene? He actually beat you.
I'm glad you didn't ask me about this week, you know, or last week, because I haven't really watched much darts, you know. I've been trying to focus on myself. But what I would say, I've said this many a times, he's a breath of fresh air. You know, when he turned up and look, the World Championships was the statement, you know. I know he never went on to win it and other stuff, but really good for the game. Different outlook on the game. I think that's great for all our sports, you know, if we're all involved. But he's a nice guy, I know. You know, he's developed. He's got the right parents, like I said, and they keep him fairly level, you know. So yeah, I quite appreciate him to a certain degree, you know. I think it's quality. Me and him don't always talk. Had a few practices here and there over the years, but look, he's workmanlike, and he's a bit like me. I want to work for a living, and it takes a lot sometimes.
He will be well aware you are a former champion of the world. You've won plenty yourself, so he's got to show you some respect as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm not bothered. I honestly, he can put me down wherever he wants. I don't expect him to. I think him to take that calm, cool attitude, what he's always got, you know. And I look forward to that. But look, we're going to go over a format, and that's what it's all about. It's about them moments. And if I can win a few of them moments, then you never know. It
has been a tournament of upsets. We've seen some outstanding results. I mean, you mentioned the odds earlier on. You are going to be playing against the odds, but we all know you've got the game to beat him. And
I probably played against the odds years ago. You know, I've done some great things on this stage, and I'd always cherish them. And I've got some great memories. You know, if I never won it again, then there ain't many people out there what could say they've won it or done what they've done or played that GOAT in that final, you know. I do believe Phil's the best, but at the same time, you know, it's about making new history and new memories and getting on with life. And I think if you dwell on the past, you get left behind. So maybe a couple of days, like I said, we're going to go at it, and I'm looking forward to it. I know, why not? If you're going to win a World Championships, you can't beat a load of Scoobies. You got to beat the proper players, you know, and that's how you win a world title. And if you don't do it, tail between your legs and go home like a dog.
Yeah. Look, you were brave enough to speak out after, I think, last time we spoke to you, you know, about mental health and things like that. Where are you at the minute? And are you pleased that you did that? Because you got some, you know, there's a good reaction to what you said.
Yeah, of course. Look, I think it's good to talk. I'm not much of a talker in that way, you know. I put a big front up and I put a big wall up, and that's me in life, you know. Someone will look at me and they think to themselves, "Oh, look at him, he's brand new, but he looks old." But at the same time, you know, I'm so fortunate to have the people around me and do stuff, and I've had to change a few bits and take a leap of faith in that, changing them bits and all, because I've probably been dependent on certain stuff for a while. What I shouldn't. Well, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should. There's no right or wrong answer in that. But I'm just so lucky, yeah. And now I look at it, you know. I want to go work. I want to perform. I've got the best job in the world, to be honest. You know, doing this and stuff and going out in fantastic crowds, fantastic venues. You know, how lucky can I be? And most luckiest in the world. You know, I've got 4 beautiful babies at home, and I think instead of being short-sighted, sometimes I should be a little bit more looking at the picture. I would say that, but yeah, I don't know where I am for the next month, whether I talk or whatever. I don't know, but skimming it, you know. I've got a bit of counselling actually, but for January I've tried them before, and yeah, it'd just be nice to get something working, I think, for the new year too. So I know that's coming.
Good man. I saw you speaking to Damon at the end. Look, you know, quite a serious chat. What was that? Words of encouragement, maybe?
Not really serious. I think I respect the man. You know, he's look. There's a lot of people, yeah, within the darts game. A bit like me. I live in England, so it's easier to get to Germany. It's easier to make pro tours at home when I was starting and doing all them kind of things, you know. And this man, yeah, I think the respect for this man, yeah, he's give up a life to come and do this, and yes, he's going to benefit financially, and he's going to benefit in every single way, in that way. But he won't have his family. He won't, you know. They're on the other side of the world, and I moan about going to Australia and New Zealand once a year.
Yeah.
So look, I've got big respect for him. I think he's fantastic, and look, he's just going to keep going because that's him, and that's what I love about him most, you know. So. I said don't put your chin down, just keep going, you know. You got a new year coming, start again, and we'll work on that, or he'll work on that, you know. But he's made more sacrifices than most in the game.
Yes. Just last one. Is the game against Littler what gets your juices flowing?
Well, it needs to. I would say it needs to, but look, whatever happens and stuff, you know, I don't really want to say too much on the game. I think, look, if I get sank, I don't think I need to play my best, but my timing's got to be good. I would say that. And if my timing's good, then hopefully I'm going to be in a game. And there's no doubt, yeah, I sit here and I know I can win that game.